अमृतं वहते वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पल शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः. We'll go to the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14. Atha Chaturdashodhyayah Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. We covered up to verse number 8 last time. In Srishti, Srishti means manifestation, there are certain features. The basic structure of those features is guna. It is called Trigunatmaka. Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Three gunas. And when we say Srishti, it includes everything in Srishti, including myself, including oneself. So because this BMS, body mind sense complex, is actually a karyam. It's a product. And three gunas are in the karanam, prakriti. Material cause has these three gunas. Okay. Therefore, the karyam will have the same combination or the same features. Like very often, I have seemed to have my father's nose, grandmother's eyes, and things like that, they say. Okay, then a simple example is if the basic material for gold ornament has an element of mixture of whatever it is, copper or something, then the ornament will inhere in the ornament also. So whatever feature is in the karanam will inhere in the karyam. So the material karanam, upadana karanam, has three guna. Therefore, the karyam also has three guna. There is sattva guna, there is rajo guna, there is tamo guna. Sattva guna is tranquility, calmness, refinement, elegance. All this go with sattva guna. Aggression, activity, anger, passion, all of them go with rajoguna. Dullness, insouciance, procrastination, delusion, indifference, slothfulness, they all go with tamoguna. And Nobody is exclusively. Now let's come to us. Nobody is exclusively Sattva Guna. Nobody is exclusively Rajoguna. Nobody is exclusively Tamoguna. It's a mixture. And the mixture is not exactly one third, one third, one third. It could be in any proportion. So there are infinite combinations possible. Therefore, infinite guna. Two twins, twins might not have the same guna. In fact, that's the basis of making many of those movies. And one fellow is a soft, another fellow is aggressive. So, infinite combinations are possible in these three. Therefore, infinite is the Srishti. Trigunatmika. The Triguna is infinite. And the teacher, up to verse number 8, said how this guna ties the earth, as though ties. It is not really tying down. Atma is reflected in this BMS. So this reflection, so we will use two words here, OC, RC. OC means original consciousness. RC means reflected consciousness. It is like I look into a mirror. Why mirror? I am now this instrument, this device is mirroring me. There are two me's here. OC, the real me. The reflected me is RC, reflected me. It only reflects me, but it is not me. Okay, it only reflects. And the reflection is true to the device. See, those days, in the 70s, mid 70s and all, we used to have TVs. There used to be something line, line used to keep running. And suddenly the telecast will go haywire. So I once saw a cricket match, a great cricketer comes and takes charge. Suddenly the TV starts. So he will do. This is how he will be batting. So the feature of the device is superimposed on the reflection. So this is dull. You will see the reflection dull. You see the reflection in a convex mirror. You see it in a concave mirror. Accordingly, you see in a malina darsha, cha darshakam, darshakam, you see in a malina darshakam, it will be malina. So the reflection is true to the reflecting surface. The guna is on the reflecting surface, not on the reflection. But the reflection and the reflecting surface are so closely associated that the guna of the reflecting surface appears as the reflected. Okay? I am not affected. I am not fat. I am not obese. I don't have all kinds of funny faces. But if the reflecting surface has those features, they will be reflected in the reflection. Okay? Therefore, when we are doing guna vibhaga, when we are trying to understand in terms of guna, we have to understand that it is a prakriti, it is in the prakriti, karanam, it inheres in the karyam, and by default, when I am reflected in that karyam, in that prakriti, that OC also appears with all these gunas. OC does not have gunas at all. RC is not real. It is as though reflecting and having these gunas. That was what we were seeing in the last verse. Now let's look at verse number 9. The teacher is the teacher is explaining how these gunas manifest. Like we said, it is not one third, one third, one third. Okay? But in that case, how can I say something is Sattva Guna? How is something Rajaguna? How is Tamo Guna? It is the predominance of one guna over the other two. The predominance of the guna, how is it reflected in the BMS? That's what we are trying to. The predominance of the guna. Okay, so he says, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Rajah Karmani Bharata Jnanamavritya tu Tamaha Pramade Sanjayat Sanjayayuta. Sattvam Sukhe Sanchayati. The predominance of Sattva Guna leads the BMS towards Sukham. What kind of Sukham? Not just pleasures, more of inner joy. More of inner joy. There are three levels of joy. There is a moda, there is a moda, pramoda, three levels. Third one I am not able to recall immediately. So it is not the object itself that is joyful. In the presence of the object, there is a certain pleasure, and that pleasure is a refined kind of pleasure. So you see something which is very beautiful, you hear something beautiful, you hear a song which is very melodious. So these are Sukhe Sanjayati, meaning the Sattva Guna predominance is manifest as Sukham. Okay? And Sukha Sanjayanam, that means it is not only Sukham, it also generates Sukha. It is Sukham and it gives you Sukha Phalam. That is Sattva Guna. This is not meant for judging people. It is also not meant for judging yourself. We are all different combinations of Sattva Guna. Different combinations of Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Guna. All of us need Tamo Guna, otherwise you won't be able to go to sleep. Okay, all of us need Rajo Guna, otherwise you will not even be able to step out for an activity. All of us need Sattva Guna, otherwise there will be no thinking. So if your thinking, if your inner narrative, okay, if your inner narrative is Sukham oriented, if your self-image is Sukham oriented, when you look at the mirror and the reflection is Sukham oriented, understand you are Sattva Guna predominant. Sometimes during the day, sometimes after some events, you can even feel dull and listless and lost. Okay, you can understand that at those times you are Tamoguna dominant. Suppose you went to go through a small jhatka. If somebody doesn't treat you well, they don't see there's something beautiful. You don't have to be really treated badly. If you are sensitive enough, you don't have to be treated badly. Okay, imagine you're watching something, reading something, you're listening to something, and somebody who goes up down grunts, enough. You don't have to be treated badly. This grunt is enough. Grunt is enough. Especially if it comes from a lady. The grunt is enough. Or give you a blank, impassive stare. Glare. Enough. You don't have to be told you are a useless fellow. That one glance, that one grunt makes you feel that you are possibly the scum of earth or something like that. So We are all. And similarly, an appreciative, raising of eyebrows. You do something and somebody raises your eyebrows. Nod makes you feel. So we are all a combination, and response to stimuli causes the gunas to manifest themselves. Okay, we will see more of this. So it says, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. And what does Raja do? Rajoguna impels you into activity. Okay? Either this will be active. What should I do now? 7 o'clock. I indicate my appointment pad. I should do this at 7. That should do at 9. I should do this. I should do this. The mind is always occupied with some, and then occupied with some agenda. You want a planner and write it down strictly what happens when, and then you want to write a note, and this is what I did, and this is why I couldn't attend this. Activity oriented narrative. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Tuesday. This is the agenda for tomorrow. When is salary day? Oh, 31st October, which is a Friday. So I will definitely get salary on this. These bills are to be paid. Credit card bill will be due. Rajoguna. All of us have it. Don't think the other fellow has. All of us. All of us have Rajoguna. So it is Rajaha Karmani. Bharata here is reference to Arjuna. Saying, hey Bharata, even you have it. Even you have. For example, when you ask me this question, Yashreya Nischitam Bruhi, it is Sattva Guna. And when you said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye, Me Ratham Sthapaya, park my vehicle between the two armies. I would like to see who has come to fight with me. Rajoguna. Then you say, I cannot fight. Tamoguna. Ishu bhi pratiyotsyami bhaikshamapiha loke. Rather than fire Ishu means arrows. Rather than fight fire Ishu at my grandfather, I would go become a mendicant. Huh? Mendicant. It's a better word. Don't say beggar. Mendicant. Live on alms. I would rather live on alms. ALMS. Okay. ALMS is asset liability management system. That's not that kind of alms. So I would rather live on alms. Then Tamoguna. If I don't kill Jayadratha today, I will give up myself into fire. Delusion. So it manifests in our life on a daily basis at various points of time. Somebody says, when, we are all, many of us, especially in the last few years with the coming of all kinds of these karaoke apps and things like that, everybody and his uncle is a singer now. And they send songs first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock. How would you like to listen to song? Jab dil hi toot gaya. How would you like to listen to this song? Tamo. But that fellow is perhaps at 6 o'clock feeling tamo. So it manifests itself in our day-to-day activity. This is what the teacher highlights. And why highlight it here? Because these gunas, the predominance of these gunas affect your Atma Vidya study. It affects your Atma Vidya study. It also affects your Jnana Yogyata Prapti. We'll see. Okay, we'll see that. Jnana Yogyata Prapti. Achha. Then what does Tamoguna do? Jnanamavrityatu tamaha. Tamoguna Jnanam Avritya. The sense of proportion, the sense of discretion, or avritya are as though covered. It doesn't strike. It dulls. It dulls the sharp edge. This is the right thing to do. Tamoguna doesn't let you do the right thing. It jnanam avritya. And not only does it covers, see, they've given more mileage to tamoguna because the teacher understands that tamoguna dominates many of us, especially when your life is artha kama oriented, driven towards artha kama achievement oriented life. Tamoguna will dominate. Every failure will give you tamoguna. So he says, jnanam avritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. What is pramada? Pramada means indifference. Like this, what happened, whatever happens, let it happen. Whatever happens, let it happen. Indifference. Let it happen. So, sattva guna kindles. Nice word, no? Sattva guna kindles sukham. I don't like to use the word. Okay, let's say sattva guna kindles the pleased person in you. Rajoguna kindles the action-oriented, aggressive person in you. Aggressive, assertive person in you. Tamoguna rakes up. I will not use the word kindle. Kindle is for the first one. The other is kindle. The tamoguna rakes up dullness, fatalism, cynicism, sarcasm. All this it rakes up. So this is how the guna infrastructure is. That's it, verse number 9. Verse number 10. Acha. Rajastamaschabhi bhuyah sattvam bhavati bharata rajasatvam tamaschaiva tamasattvam rajastatha. We had told it earlier. He's just reiterating the whole thing. Rajas, tamas, chas, vibhuyah, they are mixed together. Sattvam bhavati bharata, then rajas sattvam tamas chaiva, tamas sattvam rajas tatha. So they are mixed together. However, when sattvam becomes dominant, sattvam bhavati, it suppresses the raja and the tamoguna. When rajas becomes dominant, it suppresses the other two. And when tamas become dominant, it suppresses the other two. The dominance of one over the other is what the teacher drives home here. Okay, one guna becomes dominant, overwhelming the other two. When a given guna becomes dominant, these are the notes I've written, its own products begin to manifest. So, when sattva guna is dominant, what will happen? Cheerfulness, knowledge, curiosity, all this will manifest. Okay? Adherence to discipline, goodness, adherence to values will manifest. When Rajoguna appears, what happens? Anger, aggression, forcefulness, assertiveness, dominance will dominate. And when Tamoguna dominates, what will happen? One can see dullness, apathy, slothfulness, etc. Okay, this is verse number 10 that teacher wants to highlight. Let's look at verse number 11. They're highlighting certain things about the verse. Okay, let's look at verse number 11. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate Jnanam yada tada vidyat vriddham satvamityuta yuta vidyat vriddham satvamityuta. Okay. Jnanam yada tada vidyat vriddham satvamityuta. Okay. This body, sarva dwareshu, there are various holes. The dwara means aperture. Let's not call it a hole. So the moment you call it a hole, all kinds of negative things. This is an aperture. There are 9 apertures in the system. Okay? Two, 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 7 of them are here. 2 of them below the belt. 9 apertures. He says, Sarva dwareshu asmin dehe prakasha upajayate. When sattva guna dominates, okay, sattva mitya. When sattva guna dominates, it's looking at the whole thing from a different angle. When sattva guna dominates, sarva dwareshu अस्मिन् देहे सर्वधाके द्वारेषु प्रकाश उपजायते. Your eyes, your words will reveal enlightenment. Prakasha means illumination. So what is prakasha in your eyes? Brightness, radiance. You say somebody is so radiant, somebody is so calm, there is so much compassion in his system. He's so empathetic. His words are so sweet. He doesn't hurt anyone. Okay? So, asmin dehe sarva dwareshu, through your eyes, these are the visible features. What will you show? Sattva guna will, the enlightened will show, the words will show enlightenment. Okay? It can happen to all. Even with a tamo guna fellow can happen. Don't know a tawal fellow is 100% always dull. Yeah, they say, even tamo guna fellow will smile once in a while, will say something useful once in a while. They say, a clock which doesn't run shows twice a day, it shows the correct time. So in the same fashion, even a tamo guna fellow will show all this. Okay? Sarva dwareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate. Jnanam yada. His words will be words of wisdom. He will hear words of wisdom. He's in inclination. You give him something to read. His words will immediately focus on, he will underline or highlight words of wisdom. Give him a book of Kabir ke Dohe and ask him to read. He will pick up. He will say, Guru Gobind do khade. He will go to that immediately. You ask him, what movies do you like? He will pick up a movie or he will tell you some scenes from the movie which are which there is a certain refinement, in which there is some elegance, there is some dignity. He says, I like this dialogue very much. Why? Because it's Sattva Pradhana. So Sattva Pradhana, Jnanam Yada Tada Vidyat. Okay, it is Sattva Guna manifestation. It can happen to all of us. It can happen to all of us. Sattva Guna manifestation. Okay, you suppose, you tell somebody, somebody appreciates you, and what you say in reply shows your Sattva Guna manifestation. It means a lot to me. Somebody appreciates you and you tell the person, coming from you, I am touched. It means a lot to me. Your words mean a lot to me. Jnanam is predominant. Satyam is Sattva Guna predominance. So throughout the day, catch yourself doing Sattva Guna. Whenever you are doing Sattva Guna dominance, note it down. Don't try to be Sattva Guna because it should come spontaneously. It should come spontaneously. Sattva Guna is also emotions. When somebody succeeds, what do you feel there? Fluke? Fluke ba. Otherwise, they would have never crossed this bridge. Suppose you say, their good fortune, they is Sattva Guna. You can say, coming from where they were and where they have reached, good fortune, Sattva Guna. So look at this narrative, look at this narrative. It will tell you whether you are Sattva Guna predominant. And the purpose is not to judge yourself. We'll see that later. Okay. So Jnanam yada tada vidyata avritam sattvam ityuta. Okay. That is, how does Rajoguna present itself? Okay. A common feature. Okay. Lobha pravirtirarambah karmanam ashamaspruha rajasyetani jayante vivriddhe bharatarshava. So earlier place he told him Bharata. Bharata means a very refined, dignified. Now he says Bharata Rishabha is already become a bull, snorting and ready to fight. Okay. So Bharata Rishabha, how does Rajoguna manifest itself? We saw that it'll manifest itself. How does it manifest? First thing, greed, lobha. What is lobha? I give you today's meal. You want it, you see that I will need it tomorrow morning also. So why not have an extra piece? Okay. Going a little further, why not have your piece also? Okay. Simple exercise. Simple thing. We were all traveling by one of these aircrafts, our team from my organization. I don't want to name the organization. I work for 2-3, so I guess which one. We were all traveling together, someplace. I think Malaysia or someplace we were traveling. And then, as the flight has taken off, they were serving certain things. They give you small bottles, alcoholic drinks. Okay, and I said thank you. I don't consume alcoholic beverages. They said it's okay, sir, and they walked away. The man sitting next to me is my colleague. He's my senior colleague. He touches me. From that side he took one bottle. From this side he took one bottle, and then he says, "You don't want to know. You ask and give it to me." When I read this is what struck me. Yeah, otherwise a very scholarly person, senior person. One bottle with something inside disturbs. Lobha, okay? Pravrti arambha means action oriented. मुझे कुछ करना है. So this pravrti arambha, dominant persons will not be able to sit quiet on a holiday, forget, and their life becomes miserable post retirement. They cannot never restless, beautiful word, restless. So after retirement, he wants to continue to be in touch with all those people. अरे किसको promotion मिला? Who didn't get promotion? What did that fellow say? What is the new circular say on DA? How does it matter to you? You are retired and gone. Restless constantly about the old organization, about this organization, about that organization. They find it very difficult to spend time after retirement. And they are the primary, what do you call, susceptibility to all these mental illnesses. Okay? Pravarthi arambha. Constantly, I have to do something. I have to do something. I have to get into the company. The fellow will not be able to walk. I must get into the company. I must go to the meeting and ask some questions, and make them go red in the face. He must participate. He must be recognized. He wants to have his say. So rather than judge that this person is like this, we all have these tendencies once in a while. If you have this, don't justify. Don't justify. Don't feel guilty. Just objectively recognize it as Rajoguna dominance. Rajoguna manifestation at this point in time. Nobody is Rajoguna throughout the day. No, nobody is Rajoguna. Nobody is Sattva throughout the day. So, Lobha, Pravritti Arambha, Karmanam, Ashama. Shama is an excellent quality of the mind. Shama is Mano Nigraha, responsive, mindful, thoughtful. This person, Ashama, not mindful, impulsive, and thoughtless. Hitting back. His thing is, if you hit, I will have to hit back even worse. All of us have that tendency. All of us have. There's so many occasions even I have done. Why even I have been even great people, bigger people, more people with more command over Shama Dhamadu. It's only not to justify. So Karmanam Ashamaha Spriha. Spriha means a certain action. Spriha means attachment. Spriha. If somebody told you something, you will not forgive the person. You will say, see, I have to someday take revenge. Revenge need not be anger. Revenge can be cold. All this is a part of Rajoguna. Rajasyetani jayante vivriddhe bharata rishabha. So this is manifestation of Rajoguna. Understand. So what is Sattva Guna? Sattva Guna is you are radiant. You are cheerful. You have good words to say about others. And it's a simple thing, somebody gossips about the other person, you say a simple thing. You don't deny or don't take sides. You say, see, it is not proper to talk behind somebody's back. It's not proper to talk. If you have the courage, either say it in the person's presence. It's not fair to talk behind somebody's back. So that is Sattva Guna, and Rajoguna is predominant manifested in the form of Lobha, greed, then aggression, restlessness, inner restlessness, outer restlessness. Outer restlessness you have seen? See these persons quietly. They will either drum on their fingertips. All you have to do, these days it's not available. I don't have it. If you give them a ball pen, with that spring mechanism, tuck, tuck, they'll do throughout the day. Watch. Okay? Give them a paperweight. Hold it on there. Give them a piece of paper and a pen, doodling, sign their own name. Look at it in several angles. Doodling shows inner and outer restlessness. In the child, the restlessness is seen in the form of sucking the thumb. Insecurity. This person is restless because of insecurity. Now, obviously, he will not be sucking the thumb. He will either be biting nails. Okay. Self-conscious action, wiping off invisible specks of dust. All these are signs of Rajas dominance at that point in time. Verse number 12. Let's look at verse number 13. Aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha evacha tamasyetani jayante vivriddhe kuru nandana. Hey, look at the words used. First, when he talks about positive, sattva, I won't use positive, negative. When he talks about sattva, he says Bharata. Bharata means you're an enlightened fellow. Okay. And when he talks about Rajoguna, he says Bharata Rishabha. And you're a bull, lot of strength. But when he talks about Tamoguna, he says Kuru Nandana, O child of the Kuru family. Meaning, a Tamoguna dominant person is not a bad person. See, all these are not meant to classify people to good, bad, indifferent. Okay, or good, bad, ugly as a movie goes. You're not meant to dominate people like that. This is meant to say people who are Tamoguna dominant are immature. Have grown up physically, no growth here. No growth here. All you have to do is to switch on the parliament proceedings going on. You will see a lot of Tamoguna people there. Why should this program be called Operation Sindoor? Is a question raised by a member of parliament. Hey, what do you call the person? Immature. Immature. So he says, Kuru Nandana, immature people, oh child. Lord has got a lot of sympathy because it's, see, understand something. The inner content is Atma. The inner content being Atma, the outer envelopment is Prakriti, which is made up of three gunas. So, inner content being Atma, inner content being Atma, a friend taught me. She says it's not content. Content is happiness, is concept. Content being Atma, essentially there is no difference in the persons. That brings out empathy. Essentially, there is no problem. In the envelopment, there has to be a difference. There has to be a difference. There is a fruit called dragon fruit. You know, it looks like a dinosaur's head. The fruit inside is so sweet and pulpy. So the difference is on the envelopment. And these gunas are features of the envelopment, of the package. You don't discard the contents based on the package. If the package is good, it makes you look at the package a little more properly. If the package is too showy, you will say, why so much fuss over nothing? And if the package is very perfunctory, wrapped in yesterday's torn envelope, you say, what? So much decency also this fellow doesn't have. It's a package. Okay, so he says, Kuru Nandana, what is the nature of Tamoguna manifestation? Aprakashaha, lack of enlightenment, dullness. Dullness. Okay, thoughts like the whole world is against me. Aprakasha. I am not just inferior, I don't have an inferiority complex. I am plain inferior. There's a dialogue in a movie. I am plain inferior. Then putting labels to people. The fellow is a, what do they call it? Inveterate liar. Hey, what English? You're branded somebody. The person is a kleptomaniac. Branded the person. Whereas you would have easily said the person is given to stealing. The person is given to lying. In which case you're only talking about the package. Okay, so he says aprakasha, indiscriminate. Aprakasha. Acha. Pravartischa, generally indiscriminate, and he also doesn't want to take the initiative to do anything. A very predominant feature of Tamoguna is procrastination. I'll do it later. Abhi time hai. The bill date falls only on 21st. I can do it later. So aprakashaha, apravartischa, a certain hesitation, a certain reluctance to take initiative. We can see it at home, sitting here, somebody rings the bell. Otherwise, I am okay. He will call out, hey, see who is at the door. How long does it go and take to open the door? So a certain reluctance to take physical stress, strain. I don't want to drive. I can understand if you're in Bangalore and you say you don't want to drive. I don't like driving. There is certain reluctance to do anything. Aprabirtascha. Pramada. Pramada here means not the Tamil pramada. Sanskrit pramada means a certain indifference, casual insouciance. You know what? Hey, today is that person's birthday. And so what if I don't greet? There are 500 people greeting, he will not miss my greeting. Actually, he will miss only my greeting. Insouciance. And so what, here my birthday greeting, what will happen? Will his birthday come down by one day? So, pramada, moha, delusion. Delusion, lack of commitment. If there is commitment, it is commitment to something which is not dharma, which is not proper. Commitment, pramoda. Okay? Pramoda, moha, tamas, etani jayante. These are manifestations of tamo guna. He Kuru Nandana. Okay. We will quickly look at verse number 14. Okay. This chapter is a small chapter. We can complete it. Now, I will elaborate verse number 14, the next one, which is Yada Sattva Pravartetu Paralayam Yati Deha Priti Tadottama Vidam Lokan. Okay, yeah. Malan Pratipadhyate Amalan Pratipadhyate. Now, when this BMS life cycle comes to an end, the physical body falls, mind Sukshma Karana Buddhi moves, it travels in search of another yoni. Okay, if you are predominantly sattva guna oriented, the Sukshma Karana Buddhi is led to conducive yoni which help in refinement, dignity, elegance, and things like that. So you go for, you relocate from one place to another. Okay, let's say you spend all your life in city one, and now you have moved to city two, relocation. After you have settled down, what are the things you look for? Where is a library? Is there some satsang going on nearby? Is there a temple nearby? Okay, is there some service center nearby? One thing. Other fellow, is there a bar nearby? Is there a dance bar near? A third fellow, there's no much noise. I hope people don't disturb me when I'm sleeping. So whatever is the predominant guna, the system is impelled towards those activities. That's what Krishna wants to highlight. We will see it more elaborately in our next session. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahisha gobrahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalinim deshoyam shobharahitah brahmana santo nirbhaya सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय, सब संतों की जय. That we are all impelled towards study of Vedanta shows this point of time, you are Sattva Guna dominant. That is self. You're not meant to justify. You're not meant to feel guilty or sit on judgment. Hey, have you caught yourself? Hey, morning we do a meditation at 6:30. A lot of people are there at 6:25. You are Sattva Guna. Even if a person falls asleep, the person comes and says, I'm so sorry I fell asleep. Sattva Guna. I was physically tired. That's why I slept. But somehow, even 1 minute before it ends, I will join. Sattva Guna. So attending satsang, bhajans, puja, sattva, reading good, reading elegant, reading refining stuff, all that is sattva. Have a wonderful weekend. We will meet again next week. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.